A lot of people think that you need a gym to get in shape. They think that you need access to a ton of different equipment. I am here to tell you why that is simply not true. You can really achieve the body of your dreams at home with very minimal equipment. And when I say minimal equipment, we're talking about a home gym setup that costs less than $150, but can get you all the results that a $1,000 per year gym membership can get you. So if you like saving money, I'd stay and watch all these 4 reasons, because I feel like each reason individually is going to shed some new light and maybe show you something new. The first reason is muscles only care about tension. They don't care about where you are. If we look at it, the primary function of muscles is to overcome resistance. That's why muscles exist. That's why we have muscles on our skeleton. Muscles are the only type of fibers on our body that can produce force and overcome resistance. So you grow muscles by overcoming resistance. This is why having bigger muscles, you tend to be stronger, because muscle fibers directly correlate with people's ability to produce force. But here's the thing, that line of logic usually leads people down the path that to get bigger, you need to lift big and heavier weights, and you need to get stronger. Strength will 100% correlate with increased muscle mass. But that's only one mechanism. You do not only need strength to build muscle. You can build muscle by increasing your reps. You can build muscle by increasing your time under tension. You can build muscle by implementing different intensity techniques. It's not just about lifting heavier weight from week to week. When we go back to the earlier definition of the primary function of a muscle, it is to overcome resistance. But resistance is not just exclusive to lifting heavier weight. Resistance is essentially the challenge, the demand that you put on the muscle. And you can demand and you can challenge the muscle in many different ways. It's not just lifting heavier weights. More reps, the easiest way to progressively overload. More time and attention, really making sure you take your time on each rep, focusing on your technique, making sure every rep is solid. Intensity techniques. If I did 10 bicep curls with a 20-pound dumbbell and 10 pull-ups, that's hard. That's really freaking hard. And if you get creative, there are all sorts of different techniques that you can implement to make sure that you're progressing from week to week. But fundamentally, we need to understand that our muscles are not just limited to machines or big, heavy free weights in the gym. The muscle's primary function is to overcome resistance. And if we learn different techniques and different ways to overcome resistance or to create resistance at home, we can still effectively build muscle and make progression over time. And that kind of ties into the second point, that progressive overload works with body weight, it works with bands, it works with dumbbells. Progressive overload is not something unique to a barbell back squat. There are many forms of progressive overload. And once we understand the uniqueness and the different challenges of each form of progressive overload, we can take the form that is applicable to our situation at home and really work and focus on that form of progressive overload and still make progression. So as long as we're challenging the muscle and as long as we're progressively overloading it over time, we're going to make progress. The third point, and this is probably one of the points that a lot of people actually oversimplify, is they don't realize that you can actually hit every single muscle group at home. The main argument that people make when it comes to training at home is that, oh, how do I hit my biceps? How do I hit my chest? How do I hit my abs, my quads without a gym, without machines, without equipment? Because to truly understand how to hit every single muscle at home, it really does require some knowledge. It's very hard to acquire all the knowledge that you need to effectively make sure you're working out your body completely. With a 20-pound dumbbell, you can do bicep curls, you can do overhead extensions, you can do front raises, you can do side raises, you can bend down and do reverse flies. I've showed you 5 different exercises that you can do with just a 20-pound dumbbell. And essentially, if you push that hard, you can grow your triceps, your biceps, and your shoulders pretty effectively with just that combo of 5 exercises. People think that you need a million different exercises to make progress, but the truth is, you really need to get good at one exercise per muscle group and do it consistently over a really long period of time. Because it's not about the number of different exercises. If we go back to what we said earlier, the primary function of a muscle is to overcome resistance. The benefit of having variation is that you can overcome different kinds of resistance, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to hit the same muscle, all those different kinds of variations all have the same function. So if you really get good at 1 or 2 exercises that you can do really well and execute almost perfectly, you can still make the same progress. And luckily for us, with 1 set of 20-pound dumbbells, you can basically hit every single muscle group in your body. And if you really wanted to take it up another level, if you purchased a bench, so like a $50 bench off Amazon, you could hit even more muscles. There is not a single muscle in your body that you cannot hit with a $50 bench and 1 set of adjustable dumbbells. And finally, the 4th reason as to why you do not need a gym to get in shape is working out at home creates way more flexibility for you. I'm guessing most of the people who watch my videos are beginners to the gym and they don't really have a lot of time to go to the gym, to commute, to, depending on how far away you live from the gym, to drive 30 minutes to the gym, work out for an hour and then drive 30 minutes back. So having your workout and your setup at home essentially eliminates that commute every single day. You can work out at any time. You can do whatever you want. You can listen to your music on speaker. If you're working out in your living room, you can turn on the TV and watch your favorite sports team. You really have the flexibility. And I feel like, especially if you're a beginner and if you're trying to implement something, it's a lot easier to stay consistent if you remove all the different barriers that come up when you try and make something a habit. So you're removing the barrier of having to commute. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like. If you want to learn more about how you can effectively train at home and really reach all your body's goals and all the targets you have for yourself at home with minimal equipment, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be making a lot more videos explaining and breaking down the specifics. If you have any questions, drop those questions down in the comments. I answer every single question. And again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and I really appreciate you for tuning in. So I guess I'll see you in the next video. Peace.